Today is December 29th. It is Sunday. Right now it's about 10:20 a.m. in the morning. I attended church online. I I got a little lazy. I didn't go in person, but I attended it online, and I love the teaching that our pastor teaches in the church, because kind of reminds you to stay grounded to the moment, also to um, rely on God. And this is what I believe, so for me that works well. In our day-to-day life, it is so easy to have the ego creep in for anything that we do. And I think this way, when we believe in the higher power, whatever we believe in, that kind of reminds us that we are in this body for only for some time. It's not forever. And through this, we can, do the good. We can be kind and share positivity, optimism. And every day may not be the best day, but we kind of keep looking forward, and remember that after the dark night there is always a sunrise. And whenever we wake up next morning, then we can be blessed. We can feel the blessings for that day. And I started doing that today, because there's many TED Talk, there's many YouTube videos and stuff where they would talk about, feeling grateful just for the day, that another day we had the chance to wake up and make a difference in the world, because many people didn't get up, and last night was their last night. That happens, right? It's not just a thing. It is real. So it's important to remember that our life is not forever. And I think in this stage of life, when we are in midlife, most of the time after 40s, we realize the things that are really important in our life, and we strive to do anything that we can to make that difference, because it's not only for us to feel good, but it's also for while making other people's life a little bit better. That's how we feel better, because when it comes to doing things for ourselves, we give up, because the reason has to be bigger than ourselves. Only then we'll keep going and finding that thing that inspires us, that the why and purpose, it is really real. And when we find that, when we can really connect with that, then there is no stopping. A friend of mine and I, we chatted for hours yesterday, and that was fun. That was my happiness bucket filler. For me, it's the simple things that fills my bucket, and this is one of the really, really amazing things. Like when I meet with my friends, and I'm so grateful that I have several of these friends. When I meet with any of them and have coffee, and it just fills my happiness bucket. Not to mention, I love coffee. Cappuccino is my favorite, and latte, but I don't drink them always, because they can be very fattening. But anyway, so that was great. And today I mainly want to focus on this one message, is that, in this channel, what I talk about a lot is about how to get from midlife crisis to midlife happiness, point A to point B. It is not about getting from here to here. It's who we become in the process, right? point A to point B, and sometimes we'll be moving to point C and point D, because that's the transformation happens. But the biggest transformation in human life, they say, is around midlife. Now, for some people, that may start when they're 35. For some people, it might be at 60, it might be at 70, but it is that somewhere in between, we realize that life is not forever. And sometimes it may happen when everything is going on okay in life, but sometimes it could happen when things fall apart. You know, it can happen in many different ways. I have seen that happening, like, something like that happening with different people, with different things, and for the people I know. And since I'm in this situation, I'm in my 40s, a lot of my friends are in this age range, and I have seen how different people struggle with it or find happiness or what. So one of the things that I focus on in this channel is that is what works for me, is like the mindfulness, right? That's what I started with. If you saw my videos earlier, when I started 7 months ago, and mindfulness was the biggest thing, which became a daily practice. And also I started connecting with several communities. So mindfulness, communities, and serving through that community, right? 3 big things, like from point A to point B. For me, that is what worked, and that is what is working. Now, to go from point A to point B, I always believed that even while working, even like, people leadership excites me. It's when I started my career 21 years ago, 2003, so yeah, so 21 years ago, right after college, I always think that when you want to go from one place to other, there is multiple ways to go that. And if I use a simple example, let's say I'm in Virginia and I want to go to New York, there are multiple ways. You can fly to New York, you can drive there, you can go using a bicycle, it'll take you forever. You can hitchhike. There's so many ways to go there. Even when you drive, you can go directly through 95 North, or you can go through Pennsylvania, which will take you a little longer, less traffic. So the point is, like, when we set that goal that this is where I want to go, sometimes we may know exactly how we will get there, sometimes we may not. And while going through Pennsylvania, and let's say the traffic is more or whatnot, and then we might come back to 95 and go that way. The point is that when our goal is set, whichever way we want to, we will get there. But knowing that goal or the destination is important, I think. And throughout the process, it can pivot, it can change. And while going to New York, when you're close to there, you might even think that, oh, okay, New York is great, but I want to go to Connecticut next. And then you might land there, even though initially you never thought you would. I know it's a little different concept, but weird concept, but the point is that if your goal is from midlife crisis to reach to midlife happiness, more than happiness is a joy. In another short video I covered a few days ago, joy is that longer lasting happiness. And when they use the term happiness is actually what is in short term. Happiness is external, meaning when you buy, if you're a car person, which I'm not, when you're a car person and you buy an expensive car, then you may feel that happiness, that and it may stay for a few months, and after that becomes old. But joy is longer lasting, and one way to remember the difference is the word joy is shorter. The shorter is actually longer lasting, and it doesn't depend on your outer reality. Like in the outside, your life might be falling apart, but if you can sit down and be grateful for what you have a roof over your head, you have clean water, you can drink a cup of coffee, that can be joy. Like for me, back in 2018, 2019, around that time, 2-3 years straight, I could not drink coffee because I had some health issues, and thank God it all got resolved. After 3 years, now that I can drink coffee every morning, I feel grateful for that. Now I don't remember every day anymore because it's been 3-4 years I'm able to drink coffee again. So these are the things I forget. I missed coffee so much that I would fill my cup with hot water and I would pretend to sip this hot water, kind of drinking as it like coffee. I loved coffee that much. I'm not someone who drink 5 cups of coffee a day. I drink just mostly 1 cup, always. Rarely I may drink a second cup, but the point is that the simple things that when we can be grateful for, we can remind ourselves, and that reminder comes from practicing. That is joy. Joy is what mainly we want to focus on more because that is in our control. Like buying an expensive car, that would depend on having a lot of money and finding the perfect job that has some external aspect. Like I had a really good interview a couple months ago, if you have seen my videos, and I was so confident I would get the job, but they ended up hiring somebody internal. And it's hard to compete with somebody who is already working there internally. But anyway, now I believe that that's also God's plan, that, believing in that higher power, that we can plan all the plans we can do. And it's not bad to plan. And especially for a person like me, I'm a big planner. If you've seen my other video where I talk about at the end of 2024, I print a calendar of 2026. Yes, you heard me right. I print a calendar of 2026, which means I have a plan, the big goals, the big rocks, I plan for 2025. Also, I look ahead and plan for 2026. Now, is there any guarantee that I am going to get to 2026? Nobody knows, but there's nothing wrong in planning. That's the way I live my life, and you can have your own values and rules, what makes you happy. For me, this is how I plan. I'm a big planner. I think that just reduce the stress for me, and you gotta do what reduces the stresses for you, because we all have some things in life that we can do to reduce our stress, and also something to look forward to. This helps me to look forward to the good. I also try to plan a little bit of my trips, like where I will go next year. So this gives me something to look forward to, because as a human being, we know that everything that's going to happen in the next year, each and everything may not be going to be the best thing. There will be challenges, and we have to work on those challenges. But then there's still those things that we plan that'll give us happiness, because my deepest desire, like travel, makes me super happy, even if it's like 2 hours away to a place for a 2 or 3 nights trip, and it makes me happy. So I look forward to those. I plan for those, not exactly when and how, but like rough plan. So you may have something like that. So if that works for you, like the mindfulness or being a part of community, serving others, volunteering, whatever that is, you will feel it. And nobody has to tell you, you will feel it, and then you just keep doing those more. But you have to be consistent. And the consistency doesn't mean doing it daily. Like I make these videos daily because that is what works for me. I have seen the big transformation in me when I think of joy, the longer lasting happiness, meaning I'm focusing more in those areas as I keep doing these videos, because one change in one area of life kind of impacts in a good way the other areas of your life, because then we are dwelling less on the unhappy areas. How Tony Robbins would say, the valley. There's no point dwelling more in the valley area. More you can live in the peak state, meaning the happier state, is better, because life is short. And for some people, they would say there is these terms, right, in the internet these days they call fake positivity, or like forced gratitude. I don't believe in that. And that's some people may say it, but that's their belief. That's one thing we got to always remember, is that everything goes with the belief that we form as we are little kids, the surroundings, and as we grow older. And there is nothing good or bad. We define what's good or bad. We live in an observer's life. We want to live in an observer's life. No blame, no criticism, no judgment. But from time to time it could happen. As long as we don't continue doing that, it's okay. And for me, if you guys have seen the videos where some days are not the best, I say it here. And if some days are neutral, that's fine too. Like today is more of like a neutral day, but I would be focusing on things, on planning and whatnot. End of January, once a month, some of my friends and I, 4 of us, we are planning to do a mastermind group, so Sunday afternoons. But I kind of started doing loosely about a month ago, the Sundays that I have time, like today I'll have the time. I started doing it myself, and then so that is getting me in the zone. And 4 of us are going to start doing this, so that's another different kind of community that I am looking forward to, because I had this community from the church, the Bible study group. I also have my Toastmasters, and this is another third group that I am looking forward to create and add value to other people. And my friends are going to add value to my goals and achievements too, just like the way I will add value or try to add value and achievements to their life. Because when we have, this is almost like having multiple accountability partners, because sometimes when we are with just one friend trying to do that, life gets busy and we may not do it on a continuous basis. And there's nothing wrong with that, because life does get in the way sometimes. So when we have multiple people working together, we would hold each other accountable, not in a pushy way, but in a good and optimistic and positive way. You have to have some commonality among all the people. So 4 of us, we do have that commonality. Throughout the process, we may have other people coming in and joining us, or people drifting away. But I'm really, really looking forward to that. So the community is a really, really big thing for me, because when you are in a part of community, not only you have that community as your support system, it also helps to remind ourselves to give more to the world, to make the world a better place. With each of us have a unique gift, maybe more than one, and we can all make a difference when we're part of that community. Because when the focus is outside of us, that actually helps us to feel better. More we focus on me, it's harder to feel good, because then generally speaking, we don't focus on the good. If you think of it, I'll give an example. Like if something is challenging happening in your friend's life, everything, if you're in your good friend's life, oh, you may have some friends there, I don't know, sometimes they could be, we have all different sorts of friends, like friends who are good, we love spending time with. And there are some friends that are like, maybe an hour is okay, but all day may not be, but it depends. But anyway, so for a good friend, if you were to think that if they're going through some challenging situation, you do everything or say something, everything in a way so that to make them feel better. But when we are going through challenging situation, we forget to do that for ourselves. And that's what I mean by, like, when we think of me, it doesn't make us feel better. While helping others, making to feel better, when we see that we could help them to get out of that challenging situation and look at the brighter side, it makes us happy, right? It makes us happy. So that's what helps with the community and the support system. We remember to do that more, and in the process, that energy increases, the happiness frequency increases, and through the process, then we become happier. So anyway, so the main point for today is going from A to B, point A to B, there are many ways to get there. So find what works for you. Find one thing, and then keep doing that consistently. And through the process, you may uncover another different method, and you may see that works even better. Then go do that. There's not only one way. There are multiple different ways to go from one point to another, and see what works for you, and keep doing that. If you are in this season of life, in midlife, sooner or later, if it did not hit you, it does. Most people at some point, they get to that realization that, okay, life is not forever. You can have that realization in 20s too, but it's different in midlife because many things happen. Sometimes we lose loved ones because we have older parents at this stage. And in my case, I lost my dad. He had a stroke when I was 6 years old. My mom is still alive. She's older. But some people, my friends, they lose loved ones, their parents at this age. And then you have little kids, you have a job, there's a lot of things going on. And then you feel like sometimes, is this all there is to life? And then sometimes things fall apart, either with job, with family, or both, So from there, recently I was listening to a TED Talk where they were saying midlife crisis. I think the term, somebody defined it in 1960s or something. I forgot the exact year, but it's pretty recent. So 1960s would be still pretty recent. From there, and then the person was saying the term midlife crisis, they probably should call it as midlife awakening because that's another stage of life. We really awake from, it's almost like a dream that we're living in. It's almost like we're chasing things, and then at this stage of life, at some point, we have this awakening. You're like, is that how life is supposed to be? Or, what are the things that we could do or should do or whatnot? The way I look at it is, this is a second chance in life, literally a second chance in life. What I mean by that is the things that you always wanted to do in the first half of your life and you couldn't do because of responsibility or whatnot or anything. Now, if you know that, life is going to be over someday anyway, we just don't know what that someday is, try to do those things. You still have a chance now that you know that life is not forever. Just do those things. It's a second chance in life. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish the video. Today is Sunday, 2024, 29. So it's 2 more days to this year, and then it'll be a new year. Make this coming year your best year. You can do that. I'm looking forward to do that also. And in this channel, I'm going to keep sharing the things that I'm doing and how I'm looking forward to each and every day. I hope you join me too. Stay engaged, and I will try to keep inspiring you as well. Take care. Bye.